Hi, this is Kaya and welcome to my mom's channel.
That was my daughter. She wanted to be part of this recording, so I let her introduce herself. So this is Pearl, and welcome to my channel. I am doing Project Life Week 3 using the Studio Calico Documenter Kit. Now, I like to put my photos in semi-chronological order, even if it may not quite balance on the page, but I try to balance it as much as I can while keeping it in semi-chronological order. So now I'm going through the Studio Calico January kit and trying to figure out which 4x6 cards I'm going to use and which 3x4 journaling cards I'm going to use. If I use a 3x4 photo in a 4x6 place, I use a 4x6 journaling card and or a 3x4 and then mat it onto a 4x6 cardstock. So I'm going through the journaling cards trying to decide which ones I'm going to use. I don't worry about using the perfect card. I just find one that's just best if I need space for journaling or if I need a filler card. Now this particular journal card can also be cut up as labels. So I'm using my tonic guillotine, which is amazing. It's a 6-inch guillotine. It's a self-sharpening, so I don't need to buy blades for it. I use that to cut these into labels, and I'm going to use them in 3 spots on my layout. Now I'm going to work on the left-hand side of the photo, or the layout I should say, and I'm going to work on the left-hand side, and the first one I'm using as a label, and I write using my Stabilo dark gray fine liner. I like to use gray versus black because it's not quite as stark, but it's still dark enough that you can read. So I decided it was about time to get back on track with meditation, and I used the Headspace app. I'm using my One Canoe 2 date stamp, and I love the font on this. So I'm going to use that, and I use my tiny attacher to staple. I like to staple all of my labels. Now this second picture is of my son, and he lost his front tooth while he was at school. So I'm using the label sticker that came with the kit to document that. And as a filler card, I'm using the journaling card with a camera on there to fill that space. And I use Stays On Black to stamp on photos and VersaFine Black Onyx to stamp onto paper. Now I want to use the stamp sets that came with this kit, and this one says Everyday Moments, and I use my Stays On ink to stamp on photos. Then I use my stamp chamois to clean off my stamp and put this stamp back, because if I don't, I will lose it. So now this stamp set is from the Ali Edwards Stories by the Month kit, and I wrote motivation, finding it and making it happen. I'm stamping that onto the bottom of this journaling card using VersaFine Black Onyx ink, and I'm using my stamp chamois again to clean that stamp off and put it away. Then I'm going to journal, finally finding energy, time, motivation to take down the Christmas decorations. It takes a little longer because Kaya insists on helping me with each and every ornament. And then I'm going to use the One Canoe 2 date stamp to date stamp on the journaling card as well as the photo. And this photo is of my photo Christmas tree. I have a picture of each of the kids from every year since their birth. And so this tree is getting full. I'm going to have to buy a bigger tree for this. And my aim is to give them all their photos when they become adults so that they can put on their own Christmas tree. Or I might keep them like I'm going to keep all their scrapbooks. So this next picture is of my daughter. She loves avocados. And this is a picture, as soon as I cut this avocado, she started licking it. So on this little journaling label, I wrote, every day on the way home from school, Kaya asks if she can have avocado. And I date stamped that using the VersaFine. Now this next picture, and I use this tiny attacher to staple that on as well. Now this next picture is of my daughter with her best friend at pre-K, and they are doing a running hug, and they run from opposite ends of the playground, and they run to each other and they hug each other. It's so cute. So this is a screenshot from the video I took of them doing that. Then I look at the alphas, the set that came with the kit, and I'm trying to figure out a title and I can't figure one out. So in the meantime, I go ahead and stamp using the magical stamp that came with the kit. And I used the Felicity Jane Alpha that came with the Madison kit, and I titled this Running Hug because that's what they call it. It's so, so cute. And I love this alpha set. I've purchased more of these alphas because they're tiny, puffy black alphas, which is just great. I take a chipboard and I put it geotag onto the top of that picture, and I just wrote with Kaya's bestie Quinn, and I date stamp using the One Canoe 2 date stamp. I was just checking the date on the back of that photo because I do date every photo as I print them out. Now on this title card, I always use the very left 3x4 spot as a title card. I use the Felicity Jane Marigold Alpha Essentials. They're puffy stickers, and I write 03 to document the third week. Now I'm using the word stickers that came with the Allie Edwards kit, and I am using that on my photo with the kids, and it says happy and healthy and notice the little things. And then on the one of me meditating, I'm using the stickers that say this makes me feel good, press pause on this moment, and seeking simplicity. So I do like to use the Allie Edwards monthly stories up by the month kit as well. So I'm using that. And then I'm using one that says more laughter, and I'm putting it on the one of my daughter with her face. She's so silly. I got her some of the journaling things from Wonton in a Million from Michaels with their limited edition journaling books, and she just loves to journal even though she can't write yet. Okay, now moving on to the right side of the layout. There's this picture of my van, and I have packed it to go to a crop, and I wrote packing the minivan to go to a crop. It's crazy how many things I take just to go to a crop, but I go for a long weekend, and I do get a lot of my process videos done while I'm there. I just have my camera filming the entire time that I'm there, and then I come home and I have to edit it, you know, people talking to me, all that, and then do voiceovers when I get home. Now on this journaling card, I stamp using one day at a time using the VersaFine ink, and it looks like that's how that journaling card came. It's so perfect. And then on the 4x6 journaling card on the top right, it says, I hope that in this year to come, you make mistakes, because if you are making mistakes, then you are making new things, trying new things, learning, living, pushing yourself, changing your world. You're doing things you've never done before, and more importantly, you're doing something. And it's a quote by Neil Gaiman. Love that. So on the next photo is one of Grace and Frankie. I love that show. So while I was at the crop, I watched season 7 while I was doing my layouts, and so funny. On this journaling card that says loving right now, I wrote just crop retreat, finished 2019 project life, caught up on 2020 project life, killed Felicity Jane kits, and played in my planners. Now the photo on the right is of all of the what are these called? Mild liners. I have all of these mild liners, highlighters that I've purchased online when they first came out, but now they're selling them at Michael's. That is so crazy. I love that. So some of us went shopping while we were at the crop just to take a little break, and the girls got some of these. So on the bottom left-hand photo is a picture of my spring rolls. I always go to this pho place when I go to this crop in Orange County, and it says, whenever I come to the crop, I always eat at Pho Me every day, and I date stamp that. Now on the right hand side is a picture of me practicing my brush lettering, and that's week 3 of my project life.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. Bye!